These garlic chives were growing in the afternoon sun just 20 minutes ago, and now they're headed straight into a hot iron wok. Today we're making one of Sichuan cuisine's most beloved comfort foods, 回锅肉, price-cooked pork. The pork is smoky and caramelized. The sauce is rich with fermented bean paste, and these fresh garden chives bring the crunchiness and freshness that balances all that richness and intensity. The best part? Once the pork is cooked, the final stir-fry takes less than 5 minutes. Even better, my eldest son is joining me as my cooking assistant today. This is traditional Sichuan soul food, garden to table style, and I'm bringing you along from harvest to wok. Today's star vegetable is garlic chives, known as 蒜苗. Let's head into the garden. Garlic chives are traditionally paired with meats in many Sichuan dishes. And one of my favorite things about growing garlic chives and gardening with children in general is watching them learn where our food actually comes from. It doesn't just begin at the grocery store. Our food begins with soil, sunshine, water, and care from us. Yesterday, the chives were absolutely beautiful. Today, they are turning a little yellow because I was rearranging the garden and had to move them over from another spot. They weathered a little but are still fresh and full of aroma. They bring a mild garlic flavor and a crispy texture that cuts through the richness of the meat in our dish. And there is something incredibly satisfying about walking a few steps from the kitchen and gathering ingredients that will be on the table within the hour. After a quick wash, my son cuts them into segments about 2 inches long, and he's measuring with his pinky. I'm glad to see that he's getting more confident in the kitchen every year. Cooking together has become one of our favorite and productive ways to spend time together. These small moments often become the memories we carry the longest. We'll set the chives aside until the very end of cooking. For authentic 回锅肉, we start with the pork belly. The first step is something my family always does, searing the skin directly over the hot wok. I'm heating my iron wok until it's very hot and placing the pork skin side down directly against it. This step slightly singes the skin, removing any remaining hairs and sweat glands, improving the final flavor of our dish. Listen to that sizzle. Once all seared, I put the pork into a pot of cold water. Starting with cold water helps the pork cook more evenly and draws impurities out gradually. Add a handful of Sichuan peppercorns, ginger, and a generous splash of cooking wine. We'll bring everything up to a boil over high heat. Once boiled, lower the heat and let it simmer for 30 minutes. Let's check the pork. If a chopstick slides through easily into the pork, it's ready. You want it fully cooked but still firm enough to slice thinly. To achieve that, I transfer into cold water again. This helps to stop the cooking and firms up the meat. Put down the meat first. Okay, down. 这个 water 是starting to get oily. You feel 是可以，可是你会要去洗手，但是是 Now let's make the sauce. Into a bowl, we're adding 甜面酱, sweet bean paste, and some soy sauce. Setting aside is our star ingredient, 豆瓣酱, fermented chili broad bean paste, and a small handful of dried fermented black beans, 干豆豉. My son gets the important job of mixing the 甜面酱 and soy sauce together. He's very serious about it. Some of the authentic Sichuan flavor comes from layering fermented ingredients rather than solely relying on chili pepper. In this dish, 豆瓣酱, the fermented chili broad bean paste is what gives Sichuan cooking its signature depth and that beautiful red color. But not all doubanjiang is the same. Traditionally, the best version comes from the Pixian County in Sichuan province. Some are aged for 3 to 5 years before they're sold. That long fermentation develops deeper flavors, richer aromas, and a glossy red color. Compared to many standard store-bought versions, long-aged Pixian doubanjiang has a much more complex character. Today I'm using a small amount of dried fermented black beans, or 干豆豉. These little beans may not look very appealing, but they contribute another level of umami complexity that gives a nutty aftertaste. We're using a lot of fermented bean products in this dish. We have 甜面酱, doubanjiang, soy sauce, dried fermented black beans. All of them are naturally rich in glutamates. Pork contains compounds called nucleotides. When glutamates and nucleotides combine, they create umami synergy, which becomes much greater than either ingredient could create by itself. And this is one reason traditional Chinese cooking tastes so satisfying. And now I prepare the flavor foundation of the dish. My son is helping peeling the garlic today. We'll slice the garlic thinly. Now, our pork has cooled enough to slice. I'll pat it completely dry. This is one of the most important steps. We're aiming for slices around 2 millimeters thick. The thinner the slices, the more surface area we create for caramelization, which offers better flavor, or so-called wok hei, 锅气. Take your time here. Good slicing makes a huge difference in the final dish. Look at these layers. Skin, fat, and lean meat all in one slice. Now comes the exciting part. The wok is very hot, and I add the pork. High heat for about 2 minutes. The fat begins rendering immediately. You hear the sizzling intensify as moisture evaporates. Now reduce to medium heat after 2 minutes. Continue frying for 1 minute. Watch the slice begin to curl. This is a classic sign that the pork is developing the texture that we want. Lower the heat. Add a small handful of fermented black beans, 干豆豉. Now I pour in the mixture of 甜面酱 and soy sauce that my boy mixed. Then scoop in the doubanjiang. The lower heat prevents the paste from burning while allowing its color and flavor to incorporate into the lard. Look at that beautiful red sheen. The aroma at this point is incredible. Add the garlic. And back to high heat. Toss quickly, everything becomes glossy and richly coated. A small pinch of sugar, and a tiny splash of vinegar to enhance the flavor. And finally, our freshly harvested garlic chives. One minute over medium heat. That's all they need. The contrast between the smoky pork and the garden fresh chives is what makes this version so special. And that's it. Done. Straight onto the plate. Just look at that. The pork is glossy and caramelized. The garlic chives are still vibrant and fresh. The pork brings richness. 甜面酱 and 豆瓣酱, along with 干豆豉, bring depth. The garlic chives bring freshness and crisp. This dish perfectly captures what I love about traditional Sichuan cooking. Intense flavors built from simple ingredients, techniques refined over generations, and a connection between the garden and our table. Everyone enjoyed this dish very much with some white rice. Today's meal wasn't just garden to walk. It was a family effort. My eldest helped harvest garlic chives, cutting them, peeling the garlic, and mixing the sauce. And these moments are every bit as important to me as the finished dish. Because to me, recipes aren't just food that we put on the table. They're traditions, they're skills, and they're memories passed from one generation to the next. Thanks for joining me today from Garden to Walk.